if you consider the number of VPCs, the number of instances within different VNets, within your different cloud workloads, as well as your physical data centers, you could end up creating a mesh of VPNs to connect these together and therefore have a routed network which has overhead and further overhead as you connect to the internet. There's a risk of lateral threat movement, as well as an increased attack surface, both internally and externally, because of the amount of firewalls and this traffic routing overhead. If you zoom in and look at an individual VPC where you want to control workload to internet communication or workload to workload communication, you need to build more and more firewalls and ACLs passing through a transit gateway to be able to control those workloads communicating and have visibility of that traffic, and then think about how you peer those connections between different regions, your physical data centers and your public clouds, and then the management and overhead. So there is a large bloat of firewalls as well as proxies or engines if you want to do cyber threat and data protection, that even within a single region and several VPCs within the region, you could end up with routing complexity with IP addressing, and then consider things like IP overlap and conflict. And then the management of it becomes complex and expensive, replicating DMZs across clouds, regions, more instances, more management, more alerts, and so it becomes complex to manage. So if we look at the Zero Trust Exchange, I can connect all of my data centers, all of my infrastructure as a service into the Zero Trust Exchange. And if I zoom in on that, I can make a policy decision that says within these different VPCs, the thing that they connect to is the Zscaler Cloud Connector. The Zscaler Cloud Connector connects to the Zero Trust Exchange, and the policy applies to provide connectivity as well as doing all of the inspection and routing within the Zero Trust Exchange to connect workloads to workloads or workloads to the internet. So the connectivity mechanisms I have within a VPC, I can connect a workload to the internet, or intra-cloud, so within my AWS between region 1 and region 2, I can provide connectivity through the Zero Trust Exchange, as well as providing all of that inspection capability, but also between clouds. So between my AWS cloud and my Azure cloud, I can connect them together through the Zero Trust Exchange and provide that level of segmentation, visibility, and control. And then as part of the hybrid, moving applications from my physical data center to Azure, I can provide that connectivity through the Zero Trust Exchange. Again, providing that visibility and control, but also the time to market. The cost and the time that's necessary to spin up express routes between my data centers and my Azure regions, I can connect through the Zero Trust Exchange and immediately provide that connectivity, visibility, and control.